Hi guys, good morning everyone. I hope you're doing just fine and I hope that you're doing great today. May your morning be colorful, joyful, and blessed. This is Mrs. Rosan V. Parane from Payapa National High School and we're on our way to Grade 9 Science, Quarter 1, Week 7 and 8, entitled Photosynthesis and Respiration. Okay, so before we proceed on our discussion proper, I just want to give you a gentle reminder or a friendly reminder. For those students who are always asking question, wala pong problem doon, okay lang po iyon. But make sure that you already had your module with you na nabasa nyo at naunawaan ninyo. The problem with other students is they are going straight to the learning task at hindi nila nababasa ang overview at discussion ng lesson na iyon. So, you'll be having a difficult time if you will just answer right away without reading the discussion for every lesson. So, make sure na bago kayo mag-proceed sa ating learning task, ay dapat po nabasa na ninyo at naunawaan ang discussion about all the content ng lesson. And then, after that, kung hindi pa rin maunawaan ang mga instruction, saka pa lang po kayo magtatanong, okay? And let us just limit also our time for uh, uh, making questions kasi sometimes I'm receiving via messenger, minsan 11 p.m. na ng gabi or sometimes midnight. So, available naman po ako all throughout the day from 7 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then after that, while you're having rest, syempre namamahinga din ang mga guro. So, kung pwedeng ipagpaliban, kinabukasan ang pagtatanong ay sa morning na lang po ulit. Okay, so that's it. That's a friendly reminder kasi minsan nakakalimutan din ng mga bata. Ano po? Ng mga estudyante. Okay, so let us proceed. So this lesson will lead you to differentiate basic features and importance of photosynthesis and the respiration. Try to read and understand some concepts in some activities to know more about this. Okay, so the byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen being released by plants, right? Breathing it, oxygen is necessary so that our cells can carry out cellular respiration and generate ATP. So before we proceed to our discussion proper, let us have an energizer. So we're going to sing a song. So the title of the song is Photosynthesis Song. Okay, so the lyrics of the song will be seen on our screen. Okay. So, let us sing a song, a photosynthesis song.
If you want to know how a plant grows, it takes water, air and sunlight and makes cellulose. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis. Unlike me and you, plants need CO2, and they make oxygen that stops us turning blue. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis. It's a miracle how all the chlorophyll catches sunlight in the leaves of the plants and the trees. A plant of any size can do it if it tries, but we're not green so we can't photosynthesize. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis. It's a miracle how all the chlorophyll captures sunlight in the leaves leaves of the plants and the trees. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
Okay, I hope you guys like the song. The photosynthesis song. Okay, so let us proceed with our discussion proper. So, we have two key elements here in our discussion. The first one is the chloroplast, wherein organelles found only into plant cell that carry out photosynthesis. The next one is the mitochondria, where the organelles found in plants and animal cells that carry out cellular respiration. So before we proceed to our discussion, let me give you the meaning of, or the definition of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and certain other organisms transform light energy into chemical energy. During photosynthesis, in green plants, light energy is captured and used to convert water, carbon dioxide, and minerals into oxygen and energy-rich organic compound. So, this process of photosynthesis is a chemical reaction. And it is the most important chemical reaction in our planet. So, what is the equation for the chemical reaction of photosynthesis? So, let me show you the equation. Okay, so the equation for photosynthesis has two components, the reactant and the product. So, the 6 molecules of carbon dioxide react with 6 molecules of water to form 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Okay, so based from this equation, how are we going to describe the photosynthesis? Okay, so let us start with the process of changing light energy to chemical energy. The energy stored as sugar. So, yun yung tinatawag nating glucose. Ano? And then, it happens in some plants, and some algae. Next, what else can you say about the equation of photosynthesis? The plants need light energy, carbon dioxide, and water. It takes place in the chloroplast using chlorophyll or the green pigment in plant. What do you think happens during photosynthesis? So during photosynthesis, plants capture light energy and use that energy to make glucose. The sunlight provides the energy needed by chlorophyll to change molecules of carbon dioxide and water into glucose. Oxygen is also released in this reaction. So why do you think it is important for us to have this photosynthesis? Of course, we cannot make our own food, right? So we must get our food from plants, and plants are the first step in the food chain. The oxygen released during photosynthesis is necessary for all living things like us, humans, and also the animals around us. Let's pause and think for a while. Which organelle in the cell does photosynthesis? And what do you think is the conversion of energy take place? What organisms do photosynthesis? Okay, so let us answer that question. Which organelle in the cell does photosynthesis? Of course, it is in the chloroplast. It creates products for every energy. Then, our second question kanina, what conversion of energy takes place? The light energy from sunlight convert energy to chemical energy and form glucose. Next question, what organism do photosynthesis? Autotrophs, or some of auto means self, anything that makes its own food. So autotrophs, pwedeng plants, pwedeng animals, and pwedeng humans. Yung autotrophs. But for this time, what organisms do photosynthesis? Of course, syempre, yung plants and trees lamang. Syempre, hindi tayo kasali sa photosynthesis. But we can make our own food as well. Okay, so before we proceed to the learning task, let me give you the equation for the respiration para madali nating ipag-compare sila later. So, the process of the equation for cellular respiration, so katulad ng equation for the photosynthesis, meron siyang two components. The first one is the reactant, and the second one is the product. Okay, so ano ba yung mga available dito? Actually, yun din yung mga nandoon, but reversed process na. So, glucose to be added with oxygen, produce carbon dioxide and water, and also produced energy from ATP. Okay, so glucose, oxygen, converted to form, uses or produces carbon dioxide and water, and also can give off energy. Okay, so what is cellular respiration according to this given equation? So how are we going to describe them? Okay, as we can see at the diagram, once the energy that was in sunlight is changed into chemical energy by photosynthesis, an organism has to transform the chemical energy into a form that can be used by the organism. So, which is the energy. This process is what we called cellular respiration. How are we going to describe the cellular respiration? So, the breakdown of glucose molecule to release energy. So, and other interpretation based from the equation is it takes place in all living things. And it is a step-by-step process. So where in the cell the cellular respiration takes place? Okay, it takes place in the powerhouse of the cell, which is what we call the mitochondria. So how do chloroplast and mitochondria compare? So, parehas silang, ang chloroplast at mitochondria ay parehas merong nagpo-provide or nagpo-produce ng energy. What is the energy source that is created? So, ano nakikreate na energy? Glucose is converted to ATP or adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so this is the equation for photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Can you see the difference between the two? All right. The two biological reactions that complement each other in the environment are the photosynthesis and respiration. That happens in the reversed manner. In the process of respiration, oxygen and glucose yield water and carbon dioxide, while carbon dioxide in water yields glucose and oxygen in photosynthesis. Both photosynthesis and respiration can function enough as living organisms, provide carbon dioxide for plants that undergo photosynthesis and produces glucose. Bacteria and plants release oxygen that is required for all living organisms for respiration. So as you can see, the equation for cellular respiration and photosynthesis are almost opposite processes, meaning the interchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide by cellular respiration and photosynthesis help in maintaining both atmospheric oxygen and carbon dioxide and differ in the form of energy that is being absorbed or released as shown is in this diagram. So let us proceed with our learning task number 1. Observe the diagram showing the changes of materials during photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Please answer the guide question based on the diagram. So here is the diagram. Observe the diagram and read the following guide questions. What is the first guide question? Number 1, in which part of the cell does photosynthesis happen? Number 2, in which part of the cell does respiration happen? Number 3, what energy is needed by photosynthetic organism during the process of photosynthesis? Number 4, what energy is needed by organisms during cellular respiration? Number 5, what are the materials needed during photosynthesis? Number 6, what are the materials produced after the process of photosynthesis? Number 7, what are the materials needed during cellular respiration? Number 8, what are the materials produced after the process of cellular respiration? Number 9, describe the materials needed during photosynthesis and where thus they come from. And the last but not the least, number 10, describe the materials needed during cellular respiration and where does they come from. Okay, so let us differentiate between
Wouldn't it be nice if the exhaust
the relationship between photosynthesis and cellular respiration.
of your car could be used as fuel for your motorcycle, and the exhaust of your motorcycle could be used for fuel for your car? You would have a nice cycle in which both the car and the motorcycle benefited. Welcome to Moo Math and Science and the relationship between photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration have a similar relationship. The waste product of photosynthesis is used in cellular respiration, and the waste product of cellular respiration is used for fuel in photosynthesis. In order to stay alive, we need to eat. However, have you ever thought, do plants need food? Yes, but how do plants get food by just standing around all day? Plants get their energy using a process called photosynthesis. In order for photosynthesis to take place, a plant needs 3 items. Water, like you see in this rainstorm, carbon dioxide found in the atmosphere, and
In fact, we breathe out carbon dioxide, and it's also released into the atmosphere when we burn organic objects. And then last, sunlight. So here's how it works. Plants have small openings called stomata on their surfaces. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere enter these tiny openings and travel to the chloroplasts. Photosynthesis occur at these chloroplasts, which are small organelles that plants have. The plants take the carbon dioxide plus water and energy from the sun, and in a chemical reaction create sugar in the form of glucose, and then some oxygen that it releases into the atmosphere. Sugar created in the chemical reaction, called photosynthesis, is used by the plant to create energy. You could define photosynthesis as the process by which plants and other items make food. It is a chemical process that uses sunlight to turn carbon dioxide and water into sugars that the cell can use as energy. Now, why is cellular respiration important? It's important because living organisms, including plants, generate energy for their daily activities using cellular respiration. Cellular respiration takes place at the mitochondria. Think of the mitochondria as the power plant for cells, similar to how cells use power plants for their energy. So here's how it works in basic terms. At the mitochondria, the sugar combines with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of ATP. So in summary, photosynthesis takes carbon dioxide and water, plus sunlight to create oxygen, and sugar, which is exactly what cellular respiration needs. Cellular respiration takes the sugar and oxygen to create carbon dioxide and water, plus ATP, which helps with photosynthesis. And this cycle repeats over and over again. If you'd like to know more about photosynthesis and cellular respiration,
Okay, so I hope that the discussion is very clear to you. That will be a great help for you in answering your learning task number 1. Okay, so let us proceed with our learning task number 2. So you're going to read the paragraph below and perform the task in each part. Write your answer in your answer sheet or notebook. So, in this learning task number 2, babasahin nyo itong paragraph na nandito. Then, you're going to illustrate the photosynthesis equation and label properly. So, ilalagay nyo ang equation ng photosynthesis at ililabel nyo ng maayos. So, ilalagay nyo sa space below. Then, you are going to fill in the table below and describe the stages of photosynthesis. There are 2 stages of photosynthesis, the light-dependent reaction and the Calvin cycle. So, meron tayong 4 na column at 2 row para sa 2 stages ng photosynthesis. So, nakalagay dito sa first column ang stage, second stage, location, saan ba part ng cell located, and then event, and kung kailangan ba niya o nagre-require ba siya ng sunlight. So, you're going to put check on the last part. Next, number 3, draw a sample plant and animal. Illustrate how photosynthesis and respiration exist between these 2 organisms. Write a simple story about photosynthesis and respiration. So, merong 2 part wherein kailangan nyong i-describe at i-illustrate ang inyong plant and animal. And then, sa kabilang part, next part, you're going to tell the story of photosynthesis and respiration on the answer on number 1 sa inyong plant and animal. Next, number 3, learning task number 3, read the paragraph. Ito naman ay doon sa part ng respiration and process and equation. So you're going to read this part. Actually, yung mga parts kanina that is being discussed ay ito na po iyon na nasa learning task. And then, again, illustrate the cellular respiration equation and label properly. Okay, next, you are going to fill in the letters that correspond to the description above. So, we have two columns there, the terminology and the meaning. So, the words that are here on the word pool, nasa loob ng box, may mga words diyan. So, pipili kayo ng words that is appropriate dun sa meaning. For example, number 1. This is the process happening inside the cell of organisms. So, pipili kayo dito sa loob ng box. Number 2. The primary energy carrier in living things. And so on, and so on. So, lahat ng inyong answer will be coming from the box, the word inside the box below. Next, learning task number 4. Answer the following questions after performing the activity. Write your answer in your answer sheet or notebook. So, this is plantito and plantita. In this activity, you prove the effect of photosynthesis in plant. Get the needed materials as listed below and follow the steps on how to prepare the experiment. So, the materials needed for this activity, 2 garden pots or any empty container of the same size. Garden soil to fill your pots or container. 10 pieces mango seeds. Okay, so procedure. Procedure number 1, prepare garden pots or container. Number 2, fill the garden pots and container with same amount of soil. Number 3, water the soil, then put 5 mango seeds in each pot or container. Number 4, put 1 pot or container outside the house where sunlight is available and the other pot inside the house when there is no light. Okay, dun sa may shaded area, pwede sa likod ng pinto, pwede sa kwarto, yung hindi lang masasagi, So, ang isa ay nasa labas na naiinitan at ang isa ay nasa loob na walang sunlight. Number 3, water the pots that are placed inside and placed outside. So, kayo ay magbibilang ng araw hanggang day 15 para ma-determine nyo ang difference between the seeds that is being put on the pot that is placed outside and on the pot that is placed inside. So, mag-start kayo sa ating day 5. Huwag naman araw-araw kasi parang hindi masyadong malaki ang development na makikita nyo kung araw-araw. So, mag-start sa day 5 and then day 8, day 10, and day 15 para doon sa plants or pot that is being placed outside. The pot that is being placed inside will also be observed for day 5, day 8, day 10, and day 15. So, dun sa ating observation, you're going to number of seeds grown, colors of stem and leaves, length of stem and leaves. So, mai-compare nyo based on the seeds na nag-grow. So, are you going to water the plants daily and observe the growth of seeds? Procedure number 6, fill in the table below, or nasa taas, for your observation and answer the 3 guide questions. Number 1, which location can the plants grow faster? Is it the plant that is being placed inside or the plants that is being placed outside? And why? Number 2, which leaves and stems are greener in color and why? Number 3, what contributes in the difference in the appearance of the plants? Okay, so let us proceed with learning task number 5. You're going to study the table before answering the question. Then write your answer in your answer sheet or notebook. So, differentiating cellular respiration and photosynthesis. The table below are the comparison between cellular respiration and photosynthesis. You are going to fill in the number of each space to differentiate to the two. Okay, number 1. The number 1 is blank for cellular respiration, while on the other hand, on photosynthesis, it occurs only in all green plants, algae, and in some bacteria. So, ilalagay nyo yung comparison by filling up the numbers that is being asked to you. So, alternate naman yon. Cellular respiration, photosynthesis, cellular respiration, and photosynthesis. Okay, so this is number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, how will you describe the cellular respiration in your own words? And what about photosynthesis? Yes, so you're going to answer these guide questions after you answer the table above. Okay, so that would be all for our week 7 and 8. I hope you guys had fun with this video, and I hope it helped a lot in answering the learning task, and hope to see you guys on our next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Teacher Roseanne VP TV. Hit the like button and the bell button, and click the bell all para notified ka kung mayroon akong bagong video. So, God bless everyone. Stay safe and have a good day.